souls of his forefathers. We know the story of Sahasrabahu, and Sahasrabahu had attacked and killed uh, the the sage Jamadagni, and to avenge the death of his father, he cleansed the earth of Kshatriya community, the wrongly placed Kshatriya community 21 times. With the blood of the Kshatriyas, he pleased the soul of his forefathers. Later on, he underwent severe penances at the Mahendra Parvata. After taking the whole earth from the Kshatriyas, he gave it in charity to Kashyapa Muni. Parshuram instructed the Dhanurveda, or the science of fighting, to Dronacharya because he happened to be a Brahmana. He was present during the coronation of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and he celebrated the function along with other great rishis. Parshuram is so old that he met both Krishna and Rama at different times. He fought with Rama, but he accepted Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead. He also praised Arjuna when he saw him with Krishna. When Bhishma refused to marry Amba, who wanted him to become her husband, Amba met Parshuram, and by her request only, he asked Bhishma Deva to accept him as her wife, as his wife, accept her as his wife. Bhishma refused to obey his order, although he was one of the spiritual masters of Bhishma Dev. Parshuram fought with Bhishma when Bhishma neglected his warning. Both of them fought very severely, and at last Parshuram was pleased with Bhishma and gave him the benediction of becoming the greatest fighter in the world. So Parshuram is the Shaktiavesh avatar, and the Shakti that has come is the violence potency of Lord, and he is a very expert fighter and a very expert teacher. He had taught Bhishma Dev, he had taught Dronacharya, and he was also the teacher for Karna. And he, because of his curse, Karna forgot the art and science of fighting at the time when it was most required, and he only taught Brahmanas, and because Karna he posed himself as a Brahmana and Kshatriya. So since Karna posed himself as a Brahmana, he cursed Brahmana. Parshuram cursed Brahmana. Cursed Karna to forget his knowledge. Then Vasishtha, the great celebrated sage amongst the Brahmanas, well known as Brahmarshi Vasishtha. He is a prominent figure again both in Ramayana and Mahabharata periods. He celebrated the coronation ceremony of the personality of Godhead Sri Rama. He was also present on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He could approach all the higher and lower planets, and his name is also connected with the story of Hiranyakashipu. There was a great tension between him and Vishwamitra, who wanted his Kamadhenu, wish-fulfilling cow. Vasishtha Muni refused to spare his Kamadhenu, and for this Vishwamitra killed his 100 sons. As a perfect Brahmana, he tolerated all the taunts of Vishwamitra. So one of the essential qualities of a Brahmana is tolerance. Once he tried to commit suicide on account of Vishwamitra's torture, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. He jumped from a hill, but the stones on which he fell became a stack of cotton, and thus he was saved. He jumped into the ocean, but the waves washed him ashore. He jumped into the river, but the river also washed him ashore. Thus, all his suicide attempts were unsuccessful. He is one of the 7 rishis and the husband of Arundhati, the famous star. So Vasishtha Muni is the Kulaguru of Ishvaku dynasty. He was the guru of Ram, and also the entire Ishvaku dynasty got their teachings from Vasishtha. The next sage is Indra Pramada. Just one line was written by Prabhupada, another celebrated rishi. Not much information is available. Trita, one of the 3 sons of Prajapati Gautam. He was the 3rd son, and his 2 brothers were known as Ekat, Dvita, Trita. All the 3 brothers were great sages and strict followers of principles of religion. By dint of severe penances, they were promoted to Brahmaloka, the planet where Brahmaji lives. Once Trita Muni fell into a well. He was an organizing worker of many sacrifices, and as one of the great sages, he also came to show respect to Bhishmaji at his deathbed. He was one of the 7 sages in the Varuna Loka. He hailed from the western countries of the world. As such, most probably he belonged to the European countries. At that time, the whole world was under one Vedic culture. The next sage who has been mentioned is Grita Samada. Grita Samada, one of the sages of the heavenly kingdoms, he was a close friend of Indra, the king of heaven, and was as great as Brahaspati. He used to visit the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir, and he also visited the place where Bhishma Dev breathed his last. Sometimes he explained the glories of Lord Shiva before Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was the son of Vitahavya, and he resembled in features the body of Indra. Sometimes the enemies of Indra mistook him to be Indra and arrested him. He was a great scholar of the Rig Veda, and thus he was highly respected by the Brahmana community. He lived a life of celibacy and was powerful in every respect. The next sage is Asita. There was a king of the same name, but herein the Asita mentioned is Asita Devala Rishi, a great powerful sage of the time. He explained to his father 1.5 million verses from the Mahabharata. He was one of the members in the snake sacrifice of Maharaj Janamejaya. He was also present during the coronation ceremony of Maharaj Yudhishthir along with other great rishis. He also gave Maharaj Yudhishthir instructions when he was on the Anjana hill. He was one of the great devotees of Lord Shiva. Next is Kakshivan, one of the sons of Gautama Muni and the father of the great sage Chanda Kaushika. He was one of the members of parliament of Maharaj Yudhishthir. So we are seeing that all these sages have come to greet and offer their respects to Bhishma Deva. But in most of the sages' names, it is written that they were also part of Maharaj Yudhishthir's assembly, or they used to give teachings, or Maharaj Yudhishthir used to learn something from them. So Maharaj Yudhishthir, as Dharmaraja, he ruled over the kingdom of Hastinapur very ideally because he was trained and he received advice from all these great sages. Atri Muni. So Atri Muni was a great Brahmana sage and was one of the mental sons of Brahmaji. Brahmaji is so powerful that simply by thinking of a son, he can have it. These sons are known as Manasaputras. One out of 7 Manasaputras of Brahmaji, and out of the 7 great Brahmana sages, Atri was one. In his family, the great Prachetas were also born. Atri Muni had 2 Kshatriya sons who became kings. King Arthama is one of them. He is counted as one of the 21 Prajapatis. His name, Atri Muni's wife's name, is Anusuya, and he helped Maharaj Parikshit in his great sacrifice. And we know that Atri and Anusuya's name also comes in Ramayana. Then the last two important personalities are Kaushik and Sudarshan. So Kaushik, one of the permanent rishi members in the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir, he sometimes met Lord Krishna. There are several other sages of the same name. So we are unsure. Even Prabhupada is writing there are so many sages, so we should be unsure whether it's the same Kaushik from Ramayana or there are other Kaushiks as well. And lastly, Sudarshan. So this wheel, which is accepted by the personality of Godhead Vishnu or Krishna as his personal weapon, is the most powerful weapon, greater than the Brahmastra or similar other disastrous weapons. And why does Prabhupada confirm this? Is because Lord used Sudarshan Chakra to shield Parikshit Maharaj from the incoming attack of Brahmastra sent by Ashwathama. So, in some of the Vedic literatures, it is said that Agni Deva, the fire god, presented this weapon to Lord Sri Krishna. But factually, this weapon is eternally carried by the Lord. Agni Deva presented this weapon to Krishna in the same way that Rukmini was given by Maharaj Rukma to Lord. The Lord accepts such presentations from his devotees, even though such presentations are eternally his property. There is an elaborate description of this weapon in the Adi Parva of Mahabharata. Lord Sri Krishna used this weapon to kill Shushupal, a rival of the Lord. He also killed Shalva by this weapon, and sometimes he wanted his friend Arjuna to use it to kill his enemies. So Mahabharata, Virat Parva 56.1. 3. So very, very long purport, but a very beautiful purport, because we get to know more stories about some great devotees of Lord. Has Mataji joined? Because I have a class from, have my college from 9 o'clock. Aruna Mataji, can you please ask Amma to join? Because then
Yes,
she can
yes,
continue.
I'll call her. I'll call her. Yeah.
Till that time, I can read the 8th shloka, Mataji. The next verse is verse number 8. Anye cha munayo brahman brahmaratabryo malaha शिष्यैरुपेता आजग्नु kashyapangirasadayah. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: and many others like Shukadev Goswami and other purified souls, Kashyapa and Angirasa, and others, all accompanied by their respective disciples, arrived there. So the purport now starts explaining the other rishis. We will read till Mataji joins. The next rishi, next important personality is Shukadev Goswami, and in the verse, Shukadev Goswami is given the name Brahmarata. So Brahmarata, the famous son and disciple of Sri Vyasadeva, who taught him first the Mahabharata and then Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadev Goswami recited the 1.4 million verses of Mahabharata in the councils of Gandharvas, Yakshas, and Rakshasas, and he recited Srimad Bhagavatam for the first time in the presence of Maharaj Parikshit. He thoroughly studied all Vedic literatures from his great father. Thus, he was a completely purified soul by the dint of his extensive knowledge in the principles of religion. From Mahabharata, Sabha Parva 4.11, it is understood that he was also present in the royal assembly of Maharaj Yudhishthir and at the fasting of Maharaj Parikshit. As a bona fide disciple of Sri Vyasadeva, he inquired from his father very extensively about religious principles and spiritual values. And his great father also satisfied him by teaching him the yoga system by which one can attain the spiritual knowledge, the difference between fruitive work and empiric knowledge, the ways and means of attaining spiritual realization. The four ashramas, namely the student life brahmacharya, the householder's life grahastha, the retired life vanaprastha, and the renounced life sannyasa, the sublime position of supreme personality of Godhead, the process of seeing him face to face, the bona fide candidate for receiving knowledge, the consideration of the five elements, the unique position of intelligence, the consciousness of material nature and the living entity, the symptoms of self realized soul, the working principles of the material body, the symptoms of the influential modes of nature, the tree of perpetual desire, and psychic activities. Sometimes he went to the sun planet with the permission of his father and Naradji. Descriptions of his travel in space are given in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata 332. At last, he attained the transcendental realm. He is known by different names like Araneya, Aruni Sutta, Vaiyasaki, Vyasatmaja. Has Mataji joined?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तदितृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरो भगवतो अस्य दयेकसिन्धो रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भान् नाथयामुनामध्यवान् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथाय कवितार्किकेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तं सदा हृदि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So we did up to 11th verse, today 12th and 13th verse we try to do. So glorifying Narayana. So Narayana is a supreme person. He is the owner for the jivas also. He is the owner of the Jadavastu also. 11th verse from 12th verse from Stotra Ratna. Shri Shriya Paramasattva Shamashaya Kaha Kaha Pundari Kanayana Purushottama Kaha Kasyayuta Shataika Kalam Shakamshe Vishwam Vichitra Chidajat Pravi Bhagavrittam. Kashri Ka means who? Who is that person? Who is Shri Shriyahan? Shri means Adhar. Who is the Adhar? Who is the Pati for Shri? Adhar means the supporter, or the Samban Bonam for Lakshmi is Narayana only. So who is Adhara for Lakshmi? And then Parama Sattva Shamashaya, where the Param Sattva takes Ashraya. Kaha. Kaha means where it takes Ashraya, Param Sattva, Shuddha Sattva, Param Sattva, where it takes Ashraya. And then Kaha Pundari Kayanayana. Kaha Pundari Kanayana. Kaha. Whose eyes are like the lotus flower. Kaha. Whose eyes are like lotus flower. Okay. Then Purushottama Kaha. Who is Purusha Uttamaha? Among the Purushas, who is the Uttamaha? Then Kasya Ayuta Shataha Ashanka Shashena Vishwam. Koti Sahasra. Dasha Sahasra means 10,000 part, again 10,000 about of it. Like this. Sukshma means that bhaga, that is Jivamsha. So who is that person? Who is the owner of this Jivamsha? And how is this Vishwa, which is again this Brahmanda? How is this Brahmanda? Who is the owner of this Brahmanda? How many Brahmandas emanate from the pores of Lord? Koti, Sahasra Koti. So in this way, Dasha Sahasra Bhagaha. Again in that Eka Bhagaha, the Dasha Sahasra means if you take 10,000 part of the 10,000 part, again you do again 10,000. That means it is like Koti. Who is that person who is responsible for all this? Or who is the owner? Who is the controller? Chitta Chetana Jiva. Who is Chitta Chita? Who is the owner of this Chitta Chet? Or who is the controller of Chittana Chet? Chit means the soul, Achit means Jada Brahman. So who is the controller of soul and Jada Brahman? That is Jiva Brahman, Para Brahman. From where everything emanates? That is a question asked. This whole verse is, the question is asked. And the meaning is, it is Vaikuntapati, it is Narayana. Other than Narayana, nobody is the owner. He is the Lakshmipati, he is the Paramasattva Samashraya. Everybody takes Ashraya, he is the Ashraya Tattva. He is Pundarikakshaha, he is the Purushottamaha. Everybody takes Chitta takes shelter of Narayana. Lakshmipati, why Lakshmipati? Because Lakshmi ji does not go anywhere. Narayana is also known as Paradevata. Why Paradevata? Because Lakshmi ji does not go to anybody except Narayana. There are devatas, but Paradevata, above all the devatas, is Narayana. Why? Because Brahma, Rudra, Indra, Varuna, all the devaganas, they take ashraya of Narayana. So in this way, beautifully in this verse, it has been described. Now let us see 13th verse. So Koti Brahmandas emanate from him. He is the master, and he is the real karta. He is the karta, he is the master. Everybody takes ashraya of Narayana, especially when Indra is put in difficulty. Indra is head of all the devatas. So when he is put in difficulty or any other devata is put in difficulty, immediately Lord appears. Ete jam sakala pumsa krishnastu bhagavan swayam. Indrari vyakulam lokam mudrayanti yuge yuge. Now let us see the 13th verse. Vedapahara gurupataka daitya pida vyapa विमोचन महिष्ट फल प्रदानैः कोन्य प्रजा पशुपति परिपातिकस्य पादोदकेन स शिव स्वशिरो धृतेन. If somebody is not following the Vedas, or somebody wants to steal the Vedas, Raksha did that, no? Apaharan. Or if somebody wants to just give a wrong meaning to the Vedas, arthas, apaharan also means, what is the meaning of apaharan? Stealing, robbing, or you can say abducting. So all these words are used. If somebody is doing like this for the Vedas, and also Guru Pataka, if somebody is killing one's own father, one's own Guru, such daitya means such demons. Somebody is doing like this, and the demons are experiencing dukkha because of all these things. Who is going to remove a person from all these difficulties? There are so many difficulties. Apada vimochana. This vimochana is done by Narayana himself. Mahishta phala pradane. In this way, he gives phala, mahan phala. Ka again. Who is going to do that? Anyaha. Without Narayana, nobody has the capacity to give mochana, vimochana, vishesha rupena mochana, mukti from all these difficulties. Pashupati, in this way, Pashupati, that is Lord Shiva. Paripati, he is even the protector of Pashupati. Kasya, again, whose Padodakena, Pada Udakena, the tirtha which emanates from the lotus feet of Lord, Sa Shivaha. So Lord Shiva, Swashiro Dhrutena, Lord Shiva, he takes the water which comes from the lotus feet of Lord on his head, that is Ganga. Dharana, Swashiro Dhrutena, in this way, on his head, he takes the divine water or divine river, divine water, which appears from the lotus feet of the Lord. And in this way, from his head, Gangaji flows to the planetary system and purifies every place. It is Lord who removes the dukkha, even though a person may have done a lot of sins, mahapatakas. They are all known as mahapatakas, Guru mahapatakas. Even though a person may have done a lot of sin, but if he has taken shelter of Lord, especially if he has taken the shelter of Mother Ganga, which emanates from the lotus feet of Lord, Gangaji has the capacity to remove all the sins. Gangaji emanates from the lotus feet of Lord. She is held at the head of, she is held by Lord Shiva. And then Lord Shiva gives Gangaji to this three planetary system. And that is how even the demons who have done lot of papas, they can be easily purified by just taking shelter of Narayana. Without Narayana, Vimochana cannot happen. Vishesha Rupana Mochana cannot happen. Mukti cannot be given. So, like this, here, glorification of Narayana is going on. He is the master for the soul. Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman, he is the master. He controls everything by his multifarious energies. Parasa Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate. So he controls by his multifarious energies. Bala, Kriya, Jnana, Bala, Kriya, like this, there are multifarious energies. Swabhaviki, Jnana, Bala, Kriya cha. That is his Swabhaviki, automatically emanates Jnana Shakti, Bala Shakti, Kriya Shakti. All Shakti, Vivideva Shuyate, Parasa Shakti, Vivideva Shuyate. Swabhaviki, Jnana, Bala, Kriya cha. So from where all these energies emanate from Lord? Jnana Shakti, then Bala Shakti, Bala, and Kriya Shakti. So they are all counted in the different potencies of Lord. And in this way, the whole Brahmandas, they are under the control of Lord. And how many Brahmandas are there? Practically, Dasha Sahasra, then Eka Bhaga Dasha Sahasra. That Koti Brahmandas are there. In each Brahmanda, Krishna is controlling. Krishna is the master. Krishna is also addressed as Narayana. Narayana is the master. When Krishna has to show his opulence at that time, Krishna is addressed as Narayana. And same Krishna shows his sweetness, then he is addressed as Govinda. He is addressed as Krishna, Balgopala. So Krishna has multifarious names. In this way, Krishna is the, when you say Krishna, automatically you have mother cow in front of you. Without mother cow's worship, Krishna's devotion is impossible. That is why today Gopashtami, very wonderful day. Do not expect any call. In fact, you call your known ones and please come. If you expect call, then anyhow Aruna Mataji and Kusum Mataji is there. They are there. They will take and they will send. But I feel that today they should, all of you should call at least 2 people to do Mother Cow's worship. Why 2, 5, 10, 15, 20? Want to call 100 people also call. Let everybody come and perform Gomata worship. Just for the facility of everyone, we decided to do Go Puja in our temple. Or else we have so many cows in our Goshala. Okay. Why today only less people have joined? Aruna. So you have to put the message.
Yes, Mataji.
Morning class should be taken advantage. That's the message you should put. Every class is wonderful. Every prayers are wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Panchakalpa Sindhu Devacha. Patitanam Pavani Vyo Vaishnavi Guru Namo Namaha Vaishnavam Diki Jai.